A traveling merchant caravan arrived in Sunhollow on the first day of autumn. Their wagons were painted in bright colors, reds, yellows, and blues, and piled high with goods from distant cities. The whole village turned out to see what wonders they'd brought. Silks from the eastern kingdoms, spices from the southern isles, crystals from the mountain-deep mines. And me? I saw opportunity. I'd been enchanting small items for weeks. Little experiments. Useful household things. The merchant's arrival was the push I needed to turn my hobby into something more. A merchant caravan. This doesn't happen often in a sleepy village like Sunhollow. And it might be exactly what I've been waiting for. I've seen merchant caravans from every corner of the continent in my past life. But these goods, they're surprisingly high quality for a village this remote. Interesting. My first real enchanted creations in this life. A self-stirring cauldron, an always warm scarf, and a hearthstone. Simple magic. But useful. The merchant's name was Kor. A stout man with a magnificent mustache and a laugh like a thunderstorm. He'd been traveling the trade routes for 30 years and claimed he could spot quality faster than a goblin spots gold. I walked up to his wagon, my enchanted items in a small cloth bag, and introduced myself. "I have some goods you might be interested in," I said, trying to sound casual. He looked at me, a 5-year-old in a blue cape, and raised one bushy eyebrow. "Little man," he boomed, "I sell goods. I don't buy children's toys." I smiled, unwrapped the scarf, and placed it around his shoulders. "Little man, I sell goods. I don't buy children's toys. Run along now, the candy stall is 3 wagons down." The always warm scarf. I wove a thermal retention enchantment into the wool. Simple. Elegant. Very useful in cold weather. By the 7 winds, this isn't just warm wool. This is enchanted. Self-warming, if I'm not mistaken. Who made this? I did. I have a few more pieces. A self-stirring cauldron, perfect for anyone who hates watching pots boil. And a hearthstone that keeps a room warm for hours with a single touch. The enchantment is clean. Stable. No mana leakage. A child made this? Where did you study? Not exactly a lie. Elder May has been teaching me, just not how to enchant. She's been teaching me how to pretend I'm learning things I already know. Elder May has been teaching me. I'm a fast learner. We haggled for an hour. Kor was good, very good. But I was Aldrich Starshine, who'd negotiated trade agreements between kingdoms. A merchant's tricks didn't impress me. In the end, we settled on a price that made us both happy. 80 silver for the set. More than I'd expected. More than most adults in Sunhollow earned in a month. And then Kor leaned forward with a gleam in his eye. "Boy, if you can make more of these, I can sell them in the cities. Share the profits." I shook his hand. A partnership was born. 50 silver for the set. Final offer. That's more than fair for a village boy's first projects. 75. The self-stirring cauldron alone saves hours of labor per week. The scarf will sell for triple that in a northern city. You know this, Master Kor. 80 silver. In my past life, I commanded fortunes that could buy kingdoms. But this, my first honest earnings in this new life, this feels just as valuable. With 80 silver, I can buy proper materials. Real enchanting supplies. A beginner's crystal. Purified mana ink. Maybe even a small mana core. The possibilities. Make more. I'll be back through here in 2 months. If the quality holds, we can talk about a regular arrangement. What do you say, partner? A partnership. The beginning of something. Not bad for a 5-year-old's first business venture. With silver in my pocket, I did what any self-respecting enchanter would do. I went shopping. Kor's caravan had supplies I'd never seen in Sunhollow. Purified mana ink. Blank spell scrolls. A beginner's enchanting crystal from the mountain deep. Mines. And then I saw it. A small mana core. F rank, barely the size of my thumb. But with enough ambient mana to power a dozen household enchantments. It cost almost everything I just earned. But I knew it was worth 10 times the price. Core threw in a bundle of rare herbs as a new partner bonus. I walked home with empty pockets and a heart full of plans. Let's see, purified mana ink, 5 silver per jar. Blank scrolls, 1 silver each. Beginner's enchanting crystal, 20 silver. The prices are fair. Core isn't gouging. An F rank mana core. Small. Humble. But the internal resonance is excellent, stable, pure, with minimal mana bleed. This is high quality. I can do so much with this. You're sure about that core? It'll eat up most of your earnings. For a beginner, I'd recommend starting with something simpler. I'm sure. This core has excellent resonance. I'll have it producing results before you return. You'll see. 2 months until core returns. I have a mana core, quality supplies, and a workshop full of ideas. Time to get to work. That evening, I spread my new supplies across the kitchen table. Purified mana ink. A beginner's crystal. Blank scrolls ready for enchantments. And the mana core pulsing gently in the candlelight like a tiny heartbeat. I sat down with a cup of tea and a blank piece of parchment. In my past life, I'd crafted legendary artifacts. Staves that could control the weather. Rings that could teleport across continents. But tonight, I was going to start small. A simple warming charm. A light enchantment. See how the local mana interacted with my techniques. I dipped my brush in purified ink, closed my eyes, and began to draw. The runes flowed from memory. Ancient symbols. Perfect forms. And in the quiet of my little cottage, under the soft glow of candlelight, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. The simple joy of creation. This is my workshop now. A humble kitchen table. Candles for light. A teapot for company. It's perfect. The runes are the same. The mana flows the same way. This world's enchanting theory is nearly identical to my old one. The Star Sage's knowledge still lives in my hands. Perfect. The enchantment took. Clean resonance, no mana bleed, perfect integration with the parchment. I haven't lost my touch. And now the real work begins. With this core, I can create permanent enchantments. Items that will last for years, not weeks. Items that could change lives. I worked until the candle burned down to a stub. 3 completed enchantment scrolls. 2 small charms. And a plan. I'd sell simple household enchantments through core, things that made life easier. A self-cleaning broom. A pot that never burned food. A mirror that showed the weather. Small magic. But magic that helped people. And with the profits, I'd buy better materials. Learn more complex enchantments. Maybe eventually create something truly special. I blew out the candle and sat in the darkness for a moment, listening to the night sounds. Crickets. The wind. My own heartbeat. I was 5 years old. I had 80 silver worth of supplies. And a lifetime of knowledge in my head. This was going to be fun. A good night's work. 3 utility enchantments. Simple, practical, reliable. Core will be pleased. Tomorrow, I'll test the charms. Make sure the enchantments are stable. Then start planning the next batch. I've been a legend. A teacher. A sage. Now I'm an enchanter. A businessman. A 5-year-old with a dream. And you know what? This might be my favorite life yet.